We have delegations on, sorry, just get the revised agenda here. We have delegations on item 13.11, 13.7, sorry. Kathy Moknacki, President of the Board of Directors for Home on the Hill, regarding our affordable housing strategy, item 13.7. Ms. Moknacki, are you with us? Okay, I see you're connected to the meeting now. And there you are. If you unmute yourself, you've got up to 5 minutes to address council.
Okay. Good morning, Acting Mayor DePaula. My name is Kathy Moknacki, and I'm President of Home on the Hill Supportive Housing in Richmond Hill, and also a member of the Affordable Housing Coalition of York Region. Home on the Hill is also a member of the Richmond Hill Board of Trade. I'm here speaking on behalf of the whole Home on the Hill organization. We sincerely hope that the affordable housing strategy will be adopted by council today. Our focus at Home on the Hill is on supportive housing, which is referenced in the strategy within the 10% of housing for those with low incomes, including those with special needs and seniors housing. Next slide, please. What is supportive housing? Supportive housing is housing that has no limit on length of stay. It's occupied by a target population and receives services to keep people healthy. Next slide, please. What is supportive housing from a family perspective? Home on the Hill was begun by families who were desperate to find housing in the community for a relative with a severe mental illness. Local supportive housing services did not answer our calls, which made us feel even more alone and traumatized. Over this past year, we have successfully run our own supportive housing program, which has 5 beds. There are a number of factors which make our program unique and successful. Here are some of our strengths. Next slide, please. Firstly, the program is run by families who have firsthand knowledge of the different mental illness symptoms. This knowledge is fundamental to helping us understand our tenants. Secondly, every one of our board members has direct or indirect experience with severe mental illness. Also, the skills represented on our board are marketing, administration, nursing, social work, education, and art. We are a dynamic team who are happy to work with any stakeholder that wishes to achieve supportive housing in Richmond Hill. Next slide, please. Our model of care involves including the family, as they are typically the key support for persons with severe mental illness. We often plan outings for our clients and their family members. Next slide, please. Home on the Hill values and actively supports integration into the mainstream community. Our gardening team, pictured here, actually was mentioned on Marge Andre's Connecting the Community program, which shows that there is a community acceptance of those who have experienced isolation in the past. Next slide, please. What are the lessons that we have learned running our supportive housing program? Sometimes we feel that we are trying to put a square peg into a round hole as we struggle to meet the criteria of the various funding applications. For example, we have found that the skills of the recreation therapist are invaluable in providing meaningful activity, yet some applications will not pay for the services of recreation therapists. Families have complained throughout the years of people, their loved ones, sitting around doing nothing in housing programs. Next slide, please. So what else needs to change? Families continue to educate the public about the history of their treatment within the mental health system and challenges related to it. For example, the Ontario government Graham report of 1988 recommended that those with the most serious mental disorders and their families get funding first. Sadly, that recommendation was not implemented, which is one of the reasons that we are experiencing the current crisis in homelessness of those with untreated mental illness. Next slide, please. If together we were to adopt the plan for more supportive housing, then we can begin to turn the issue of homelessness around. Let's not turn our backs on our vulnerable citizens who live in Richmond Hill. Thank you for listening.
Well, thank you, Ms. Moknacki. Thanks for that information and all your efforts with Home on the Hill.